Hey y'all, welcome back to Divine Speaks with Leash. I trust that today has been just a very beautifully charged, energetic day of enlightenment, truth, uplifting energy. Happy Gregorian New Year. Our true New Year is in March. The spring equinox is spiritual New Year. There's been a lot of, fuckery, as I call it, and trickery and reversing of what really is. And, one thing we do not do is we don't bring in new things in the dead of winter. You may hear that. That's confirmation. We don't bring things in the dead of winter, 5:05 on the clock. That's not how we do things in the spiritual realm and the truth of who we are, spiritual beings, having this human experience. Where do you see, like right now, 111 on the clock, new beginnings, creating our own realities, right? But I'm in Arizona, so it's pretty nice year round here. But most parts of the country, the planet, it's cold, it's snowing, it's winter. And spring is not here yet. And spring is when all the Disney movies and all the things show us that the birds come out, and the birds and the bees and the flowers and all the, wildlife comes back out. And that's when the beauty unfolds. So, if you don't feel like in the next few months, like, this year is going by, I'm not getting this done, it's already March. Well, guess what? March is actually the beginning. That is when we create. That is when we are able to see the seeds and the seedling of the seed that we planted in the winter. So what are you planting? What is it that you are energetically investing in yourself at this time? And are you being 222 on the clock? Are you being patient with yourself? For me, I told you in the last video, I have all these things happening, with needing to find a home and having all this stuff happen. And, something that came to me, and I'm grateful for this message, what we're all going to experience in our own way is that once you've gotten, you've put yourself, you've dedicated your time and energy and your focus, because where our attention goes is where our energy grows, right, on doing something different. Well, guess what's going to happen? While you're trying to do something different, the same old bullshit is about to come back around to see if you're really trying to do something different. And that's what happened to me. Like, okay, boom. You had this happen to you last year, same month. Confirmation burp. Same month, same things. It thinks, it appears to be the same, which outwardly it is, but energetically it's not. I am not who I was last year. I am not the same being that I was, 333 on the clock. I am not the same being. My energy has evolved. I have grown. My energy has elevated. My enlightenment, my wisdom, I've changed internally. And although our external is a representation of our internal, at this particular time, with all the things that are happening energetically on the planet, there are going to be things that spin back around the block to see if you're going to handle them the same. Are you going to see them the same? Are you going to recognize them as energetic things happening through you and not to you? Right? My team told me to sit the fuck down. I'm like, huh? You don't want me to do anything? And it's like, not physically. Don't go looking for this resource and trying to find that out and doing this and that. And that's very challenging for me. I used to be a very much of a doer and get it done and control freak. And I'm relinquishing that to the universe, to my higher self, to the divine plan of what's happening. Allowing what is to unfold because I understand, I feel that what is happening for me is for my highest good and that of those I'm supposed to touch. 444 on the clock. Thank you, archangels. Right? So once we allow what's happening through us and for us to happen without trying to control the outcome, without having an expectation on what is to happen, by truly just surrendering. Just, you got it, Source. You got it, right? Because it's not something that is to our detriment if we are truly in our heart space of growth, of the spiritual path, of the elevation of our soul and what we came here to do. Earth is not really, it's a home to many, but we all come from different star planets and galaxies and such, right? Earth used to be like a resort. Everybody wants to go to the Bahamas or, the Cayman Islands or this or that. Well, coming from different galaxies, when Earth was first created, that's kind of how it was. We wanted to just come here and just enjoy. And she had a different vibration, Gaia. And that's what she's birthing right now. She's rebirthing herself. So she's going through her labor pains. And those of us who are on the journey with her, 555 on the clock, we are also going through that to aid her in remembering and bringing herself back to who she used to be. The time of Lemuria and Atlantis and ancient Egypt, or Kemet, as my soul remembers. So it's like, be patient with yourself. Be open and willing to feel through the signs and symbols that are coming through. Understand that what is happening for us is for the highest good of our soul, so that every dream, aspiration, everything that our soul desires is to be, it already is. Our higher self is already living that. That's why, we are tapped into our higher self. What is the higher self if it is not a part of our being that is already higher than where we're currently at? No matter where we're currently at, there is a higher being that is us, that is somewhere else higher than us. Does that make sense? Right? Do you feel that? Does that resonate? If it doesn't, don't take it. So it's like, okay, thank you, higher self. So we can connect with the feeling of what it is that our higher self is already experiencing, so that we don't weigh ourselves down with what is in front of us. Because what's in front of us, although we appreciate and we acknowledge in the present moment is what matters the most, how do we allow ourselves to feel in that present moment? And I'm not saying it's not challenging, it's not hard, because it is, and it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak of heart. It's not for the get fast, get it done, quick, steamy people energy. It's like, it's not, because it's beyond us. It's beyond just our world. What I'm going through, what I am experiencing is not for me per se. It is about me, because I'm first, and how I feel and how I allow the things that are happening around me to affect me, and what I respond to them with is me. But because I'm a multidimensional spiritual being, because I am ancient, because I am alien, right? I know that I signed a contract that says that I am to come here and experience what I'm experiencing for the greater good of the collective consciousness. 818 on the calendar, on the clock. Thank you, Odin. Right? So with gratitude, with excitement, with a little anxiousness sometimes, right? Because that human experience is still here. I'm not saying negate our human experience. I'm just saying not to allow that to take precedence over the spiritual aspect that comes first. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So our spiritual essence it takes precedence over the human. And because they reversed it between the programming, the food, the systemic, ways of being and living on this planet, the way they've kind of flipped things around, it makes us think that the human comes first. But there has been a change of the guards. All the CMEs, all the solar flares, the UFOs, the UAPs, all that stuff is not by chance. It is nothing to fear. Yes, there are alien species and galaxies that are not of the highest good, of course, but there are way more that are. Most of us are aliens. We all come from, we're star seeds, right? And I don't even mean to quote that. We are star seeds. Many of us are indigos and this and that and the third, because we come from star systems. Therefore, we are all alien to Earth. We're all alien to Gaia. So don't be afraid, because half the time it's your people, your starseed family, that's just coming in. that's already been working on in the background for all of our good. There's a galactic council. There's a galactic federation, which is kind of like the United Nations, right? So you have leaders from each country on this planet that all come together whenever they do to make decisions, choices, whatever, for the greater good of the whole planet. That is the same galactically. There are leaders in every galaxy that come through that are on the Federation. And there's a council, which is kind of like maybe whatever part of Congress that's condensed outside of the House of Representatives and whatever, like that small part, the Nancy Pelosi, that small part that's within the big part that kind of, it's the same thing, right? That's what's been happening. And then you have Source as the president, or the Pope, however, just to give you context on the hierarchy that's leading everything. And it's all for the highest good. It's all for the best. It's all for the energetic best of all beings on all planets and galaxies. 1111 on the clock. Thank you, Archangel Metatron. Don't be afraid. Yes, there's going to be anxiety. There's hella uncertainty. I am going through uncertainty, but I have found such peace and solace. I've been given such beautiful messages about the unknown. It's truly about entering into the nothingness with gratitude and excitement and not fear. We are to anchor in love. And it's not just like, oh, love. Oh. It's not just that. It's because love doesn't hurt, by the way. That's bullshit. Love does not hurt, but love can sometimes be a little off-putting or confusing or like, what's that? But it still is a beautiful thing, and we are anchoring in love. And it's going to be growing pains. It's going to be labor pains. The same labor pains Gaia is experiencing, we are going to experience with her. 12:12 on the clock. We just have to be patient. And I know for me, I'm like, my team been saying, be patient, be patient, be patient, 12:22. Be patient. I'm like, how much hell more longer did I got to be patient? God damn. But because there's such this intricate galactic tapestry that's happening, it's like, okay, you're building this big ass quilt, right? Let's take it back. This big ass quilt with all these different patches, and it's not done until each patch is put into its place so that it can cover this entire king size mattress or whatever the fuck it is, right? And every thread for every patch matters so that it stays together and it comes together in the vision of the creation or the creator who's creating it, right? So it's like, as we are the thread and as each galaxy or being or entity or situation is the patch, so each of us are a part of the thread. The grander scheme of things on each different thing that's happening is the patch, and each patch is a part of the biggest part of the quilt. That takes time, right? That doesn't happen overnight. 13:33 on the clock. It doesn't happen quickly. But it's beautiful and it's warm and it's cozy, and we're by the fire with our s'mores, and it feels so good, and finally, wow. And then once you have it and it feels so beautiful, you forget about how long it took for you to get there. Doesn't even matter. And when we stop putting pressure and time frames and deadlines on receiving that which is already innately ours, y'all. It's ours. We already got it. Right? It's kind of like what's coming to me. It's like, okay, your paycheck. You know that you came into work 9 days out of that pay period or whatever it is. You came to work, or you know that you're going to get the bonus because you hit the number on the 1st, but you also know that it doesn't get paid out until the 30th. So you already know you did what you needed to do to get it 30 days ago. Are you sitting here waiting like, oh my God, when am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? You know that on the 31st, it's going to come. It's going to be on your paycheck. So it's kind of like that, to where you know that if you're energetically depositing positive enlightening, uplifting, truthful, authentic things into your your world, which then goes out into the collective. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. We just happen to not be, it may not be that 30 days, 15, that number's new, but it seems significant. You know, it may not be that 30 day on the 31st, but you know that because you did it, that's a part of your contract from when you signed up for that job. They said, okay, boom, you hit woo mark, you're going to get this bonus. Now, you may go to your boss every other whatever and say that you're going to get it, and the boss going to be like, hey, look, I put it in, HR has it, or payroll has it, you're going to get it, you know, whatever. See, I show you, it went in. You're like, okay, dang. Now, it may not come when you want it, but what they say in church, it come right on time, right? 15:55 on the clock. So it's like, it's the same thing. Just know that and have belief in yourself that you have done what you need to do. Trust that. Even when the outside things don't necessarily support it right now. Believe in yourself, y'all. Believe in what you've done and be patient with the process. It's like making homemade pasta or any kind of meal. Like, okay, you know, I love me some good greens or something like that. That takes time. Yeah, you cleaned them, you soaked them, and then you cooked them, and then they had to, you know, whatever. And it takes a while. You cook them overnight, like, oh, they smell good. Got the whole house just shapopping with goodness, taste, and smells. Yeah, something like that. But you know that when you get that plate, it's going to be so delicious. It's going to be so good. So good to the point you're going to eat it up, right? And you're going to get full off that first plate. Even though you got this big ass pot. 17:07 on the clock. So it's like, you know, just be patient. There's a lot that's happening. There's a lot that is, it feels like uncertainty. 17:17. That seemed to hold a minute. 17:17. 8:8. You know. So like for me, with what I have going on, as I go through this journey and I'm connecting with my spiritual team, I'm deeply, heavily, you know, connecting with my higher self, with my galactic cosmic family, as I'm learning and relearning and remembering my soul. So putting it back together to its original form, outside of the programming, outside of the blocks, outside of the self-sabotage, because Lord knows I was self-sabotaging left and right, subconsciously and consciously. So do things that make you feel good right now. Uplift the beautiful aspects of your being right now. Meditate, journal, laugh, dance, have fun. That's even for me right now. You know, 18:18 on the clock. I'm learning to do those things more often, because those are ways to nourish my soul. We are to take the utmost care of ourselves right now, mentally, spiritually, physically, the ways that we can, what we have that control over, what we can do. We may not be able to change our circumstances. I can't make anybody approve me for a house all because I want to be approved for a house. And I don't want to be approved for a house. I want what it is that Source says is rightfully mine this year. And I've been told just recently, like, yeah, January, February, yeah, you still about to go through a few things. I'm like, what the actual fuck? At first. But when I feel the capacity of which what is coming to me is, like, all right. And it's not even about the outcome of that material aspect. It's about what I'm able to use that for. How I'm able to have the resources, opportunities, and support to do what I really desire to do, which is to help others go through so many different things. Like, I have not scratched the surface. I know that I've not scratched the surface of my wisdom, of the guidance, of the divine ancientness of my being, of how I'm able to just outpour love and wisdom to others, to bring them into their true selves, to help them bring themselves into them true selves. Because we are no one's healers except our own. We can only guide others to heal themselves. But the stories that we have and our experiences and how we overcome our things are, in fact, the encouragement that other people need to do theirs. I'm a living testimony of that, right? There's people that I follow, that I've seen, and it's like, okay, damn, okay, she's going through that too in her own way, but she overcame that, or she's overcoming that. It's encouraging. And it's understanding that our every journey is different, which means every outcome is different, which means every part of the path is different. It's like the same but different. So embrace your same but different. Don't compare yourself. Don't be jealous of somebody else. Maybe get into where they need to go before you do, because a part of your journey is about every person you come in contact with along your journey. So you might go to the grocery store, myself included. I've gone to the grocery store like, oh shit, I only got $10, but I gotta feed me and my kids. What am I gonna do? And then you got somebody else over here with a cart full of shit, right? Like, boom, la la la. And I'm like, boom, I need to make this meal out of $10 plus tax, including tax. I'm not comparing my cart to their cart. And I still come back and I make magical things. Like, I literally have made nothing out of something, or something out of nothing. Yeah. You know, and I've definitely made nothing out of something too. Like taking something and making a big nothing and making it something that it wasn't even supposed to be, or that it wasn't even. So think about that too. It goes both ways. What you invest your time and energy into is what manifests and what is amplified. And it's not to say that you're not supposed to acknowledge the things that don't feel good, or the, you know, the woes of life, so to speak. It's just like, thank you. What are you teaching me? What did you come here to show me? 222 on the clock. What did you come to show me? And have gratitude for that, and allow it, and to open your heart to receive its message. Right? It's okay. You're okay. 22:22 on the clock. You're okay, my love. Okay? You're never alone. I'm here. But more importantly, you're there. Once we learn to lean on ourselves and lean on the divine beings that are always with us and around us and in our aura, you have your archangels. You have your high vibrational, because we all have ancestors, but all of them don't have our greatest good in mind and heart. Let's be clear. So you want to call on your high vibrational ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, source energy, divine, God, whatever resonates for you for the creation of all things. Be patient. Write it out, sweat it out, regulate your nervous system. Look that up. There's so many simple things you can do. It takes 5 minutes to regulate your nervous system physically, to let your nervous system know everything's okay. Because we go into panic, and those old versions of ourselves like, oh no, but if we could do this, see, that always worked, and we can just do this to give a quick fix. That's ego, and the old versions that are still, they are fighting with all their fucking might to hold on. And it makes us feel like we could go there because that's a quick fix, but it's not it, y'all. Don't do it. I can't tell you what to do, but I say don't do it. It's hard. It is very hard, this journey. But once we start to allow the parts that, like, once you start to like really truly appreciate and have gratitude for the small things, for the seemingly minuscule and, you know, things that aren't as grandiose, then it kind of blossoms and it grows, right? So it's like, you know, you have appreciation for this tomato seed that you're putting in the soil because you went and bought the pack of seeds, because in your mind you knew that it was eventually, over whatever time frame it says is going to grow, you're going to have this big ass tomato tree. Now you can make your tomato sauce, the salads, or whatever the hell you're going to, tomatoes and cucumbers with a little vinegar, hot and salt and pepper. But whatever it is you're going to do, you know, this small seed that you just bought, you know that you have to put it in the soil. Then you know that for whatever your zone is, that you have to water it so many times and do this and that, and then at this time it's going to start to grow and start to show some results of growing. And then you still have to wait once it starts to grow. You see that little bit of leaf come out of it, that it's still not ready. It still has to grow more. Then when you start seeing the one little, grape-sized tomato come out, it's still not ready. But you know, ooh, this is going to be so good. I'm going to have my fried tomatoes. I'm going to have my this, my that. You know you have to wait, and you look forward to the waiting period. You look forward to the watching it in its different stages, knowing that it's not ready yet. So it's the same thing energetically. Allow yourself in the different stages of the seed you planted. I'm going to, no longer allow this in my life. I'm going to allow this in my life. I'm going to create this. I'm going to, whatever it is, you're planting the seed. Don't think it's instant. It's not microwavable, which is fucking, what we know, microwaves are fucking dangerous. The radiation, it denatures most of the stuff. Like, it just makes it, it warms it up fast, but it takes all of it from it. We know that using a convection oven or warming it up in the oven on the stove makes everything taste better and makes it taste just as new. It makes it taste just as fresh. It just takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it. It's the same thing with your dreams, your aspirations, with the things you're letting go of. Take your time. Allow it to brew in the way it needs to. Be patient. Love yourself through it. Connect to your guides while you're in it. They will give you clarity. Ask them. Ask your subconscious, which is who harbors all of the things. Especially if you go to sleep at night. Perfect time. Subconscious, show me the truth at all costs. Because it has to be at all costs. And you have to be ready for what those costs are. It's not always going to be simple, easy peasy. Okay? But you got this, because it would not be before you if you did not. You wrote your story like I did, and every other person on this planet with a soul wrote our stories before we came back. Every lifetime. If it's your first one, you still wrote it. Don't be mad about how you wrote your story, because it's for the greater good. It's because you are a thread in the biggest tapestry of the quilt of the universe. Okay? I'm an example. How am I so chipper and positive when on Earth's terms I'm homeless, but I am so at home. I'm so at home. Because material things don't matter. Although it's like I have what I need, but there's some things that I want. I love a luxurious life. That's who and what I remember when things, before everything became, what it's innately supposed to be, which is kind of where we're going back to a sense. The digital system is changing. You have the QFS system that's getting ready to be in place. That's not by chance. That is a galactic implementation for fairness of all. There's back contracts with all the major banks. They already know. It's new to us. And when things start to get unveiled and revealed, we'll know. But it's already been in the background happening galactically. So be patient. Love yourself through it. Allow yourself to feel the emotions. Just don't get so caught up in the ones that don't feel good that you forget the ones that feel good. Amplify what you want to feel regularly, but also acknowledge the things that are also coming up that you don't necessarily want to feel regularly. Okay? I will be back. It is January the 2nd, 2025. We got a couple more months. This might be a little bit more tumultuousness happening as we go into our true new year. But we got this. We got this. I love you, beautiful soul. You are so very appreciated and protected. So long as you believe in yourself, nothing is outside of your grip. Okay? I love you. Talk to you later.